Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review video for www.getbean.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at Bionic Bull Coffee Roasters Serenje filter coffee. Serenje? I'm going to go with Serenje. I don't know how the J operates in this situation, so I'm going to use it as a solid J. Serenje from Zambia. So single origin, Zambia, filter coffee from Bionic Bull Roasters. Now Bionic Bull operate in the Hertfordshire area. I believe they actually roast in my town of Hertford. I am forever spending my weekends in the Hertford Coffee Lab, which is one of their own coffee shops, cafes. So I'm always there, at least 2 days a week, if not more. Popping down when I work from home as well. Anyway, so yeah, I drink a lot of that coffee. I don't tend to buy too much in at home because I'm always down there anyway. So I like to try out different roasters on my home setup. But recently I had a little accident on my bicycle coming home from work. So I've been immobile for a little while, and some friends and also some work colleagues got me some bags of coffee, and obviously this being the local roasters, was the go-to one. So I've had several bags of coffee kind of come from them recently. I opened up an espresso one to use on my machine in the meantime, which is, I think their standard kind of blend, but I've never tried their Serenje. So largely because I don't have a lot of filter coffee. I don't tend to drink black coffee or filter coffee that much. So I thought, yeah, that would be good to give a go. And I'm intrigued by the tasting. So here it says raspberry, peach and green apple. So 3 very fruity, quite acidic, quite biting flavours. Now I don't think it will be as acidic as it hints, but it suggests very floral, well not floral at all, very fruity all the way through. So raspberries tends to suggest a bit of sweetness, peach, and then green apple. The fact that they've gone with green apple suggests there is quite an acidic bite. So all I've done is put it through like my filter, like drip filter, straight into the mug, and I have topped it up with a bit of hot water. So that's what we think it's going to taste. It should be, off the top of my head, pretty acidic but quite fruity. So there'll be quite a bite to it in my mind. Now, 250 grams. I don't know the exact cost of this. I did check on their website, and this isn't on their website at the moment. They might still be selling it in store. It can't be, I didn't come off my bike that long ago, so it might still be around. But typically their bags of coffee are between 10 and 12 pounds, so it'll be around that mark. You can buy it on their website. You don't have to come to Hertfordshire for it. Well, you can't buy this on their website at the moment. You can buy their bags of beans on their website. Anyway, which is a reasonable mark for coffee. I guess they're sort of small batch roasters. They don't roast a lot of coffee in terms of, well, I suppose they do. They've got 3 or 4 of their own kind of coffee shops in which they sell this from. So maybe they're not small batch. Maybe they're making waves. Anyway, the point being is that they're a local roaster doing big things. So I quite like them. So yeah. Let's see what their filter coffee is like. I don't drink a lot of their filter coffee, as I previously said, mostly in the espresso range, but just a nice black coffee. Give it a sniff. I'm getting a sort of cereal sense off it, but there is that kind of acidic apple ping definitely there. I'm hoping it's not too harsh an acidity, it doesn't catch the back of the throat. I'm hoping it more kind of catches the front of the mouth, the tip of the tongue, rather than the back of the throat. Which is sort of what you want from green apple. It's still quite warm. Let's give it a huff. But yeah, so usually I do my espresso shot, my oat latte. Just going with the black coffee stack again because it's filter. You can adjust filter however you like, with milk, without milk, but I tend to just review it as a black coffee. So as biting as I thought it would be. It's actually quite a mild black coffee. Weirdly, I think that apple is there, and it does sit on the tip of the tongue, and there is a sort of raspberry overlay. I don't particularly get the peach coming through too much, but there is something ever so slightly on the tip of the tongue that you'd go, yeah, that's green apple. I can see where that's come from, but it's all really pulled back, and I think there's a mildness to it in terms of those flavours are definitely there, but there's no, with all three of those big, strong, bold flavours, I just would have assumed, and this is on me, this is not on them, but I just would have assumed a bit more bite, a bit more kind of in-your-face flavour. And it's actually a very nice, mild black coffee. And again, I might have added a bit too much water to that. But it's not a watery coffee, it's just, I just would have expected a bit more of a punch. But in terms of mouthfeel, it's got quite a nice density to it. So I don't think it is, you know, like I say, I may have added a touch too much water, but it's not a watery coffee. There is a kind of nice, it coats the tongue. It's not a coffee you kind of go, I want a bit more texture to. So in terms of mouthfeel, that's there. There you go. I think it probably is the amount of water I've put in, to be honest. I think because I don't have a gooseneck kettle, my filter coffee isn't as top tier as it could be. I don't drink filter enough to justify buying an 150 quid gooseneck kettle. You know, unless anybody wants to donate 150 quid for a gooseneck kettle so I can do more reviews of filter stuff. No? Okay. Anyway, so I think that is pared back a lot by how much water I've put in and my lack of efficiency around that. But you drink more of it, and that strong, I think that the apple kind of bursts through a bit more the more you return to the drink, so it slowly grows in terms of that. And I think the apple does come to the fore more than the peach or the raspberry. I sort of understand the peach. There's this sort of softer tone, kind of middly tone between the apple and the raspberry, but I wouldn't be able to pick it out had it not been mentioned, if you see what I mean. But there's this nice light kind of berry tone just on the top of that apple, so which is quite nice because the apple kind of bites at the tip of the tongue, and then this sort of soft, fruity, sugary raspberry, is it raspberry? Yeah, sits in the middle of the tongue. And it works quite well with that dense mouthfeel, that kind of coating. So you do kind of go, actually that's a complete coffee. I just can't pick out the peach too much. But I do think it's there. I understand it. And I just feel there should be a bit more bite. But in terms of a complete coffee, it's very enjoyable. And that's coming from someone who doesn't drink a lot of filter. But I like that. I like that a lot. And I think I will, go away and think about that and come up with some notes. In the meantime, do hit our like and subscribe buttons. I've also put a link down below in the description as to what happened to me on my bike if you care to read. Although, no worries if not, this is a coffee blog, not a Muppet falls off his bike blog. And then I'll go away and have some thoughts on this, and I'll see you in a little bit. After sipping on the coffee for a little bit longer, I've given it a solid 3 stars. That's a strong 3 stars, if you will. Because I did enjoy it. I'm not a filter drinker anyway, so you have to bear that in mind. I'm not a natural black coffee drinker a lot of the time. But I did really enjoy this. It's a cup of coffee that I would happily go back to time and again. So, you know, my notes on that are that it's milder than I thought, which I think is where that I think it could have been stronger. I think because of the notes, the acidic, fruity notes, tasting notes, I kind of assumed something bolder than it was. So, you know, it could be comfortably be a 4 had I not had this preconception in my mind. But milder than I thought it would be. But it has got that slight crisp acidic overtone of that kind of green apple. So you do go, yeah, that's there. So which I really enjoyed, actually. I just would have liked it a bit bolder, a bit more in your face, because there is the discernible fruity flavours of the apple and the raspberry, and to a far lesser degree the peach, but it is there. But I would have liked something a little bit bolder with that green apple. So yeah, 3 stars from me. Very nice coffee. Would recommend giving it a go. Thank you very much for watching. Do hit those like and subscribe buttons and check us out at www.getbean.com. Thank you very much and see you all soon. Bye.